I'm a Democrat, and I'm ashamed at how tone-deaf we have become. That's on FoxNews.com. The man who wrote that article is Bryan Wright, a former CIA operations officer, and he joins us now. In what way do you say that Democrats are tone-deaf? Spell it out.
We opposed and slammed the deal that Trump and Pence brokered with Carrier. All right, you would think in these times when people are so angry at globalization and at unfair trade that my party would stand up and at least compliment the president on keeping 1,000 jobs right before Christmas in this country. But instead we slammed the guy. We got into the minutia of trade policy. Just from the political viewpoint, it just makes no sense. I mean, this gentleman used to represent different parts of the party that didn't stand up for blue-collar workers. Now he's doing it. And those are folks that used to be part of the blue wall. So if we abandon these folks, that becomes a problem.
It seems to me, I'm reading between the lines of your article, you're not exactly happy that the elites, especially the coastal elites, the media, top executives, government people, they are now the bedrock of the Democrat Party, and it's not working people. That's what you're really concerned about, isn't it?
I think you're absolutely right. Listen, I live in a rural part of Oregon. My family's been farming and ranching since the 1800s. And, there are still FDR Democrats and that spirit that is alive and well. And it is that spirit that is no longer, I think, being represented by the party. And that's why I'm trying to raise the flag to say, listen, we have got to get back to our roots. We've got to represent the American worker, and that will bring us back to electoral relevance. And beyond the politics of it, because at the end of the day, I don't care. As long as people are being served, right? Our country is not North Korea. We're not Kim Jong-un. We need more parties at the table to represent American democracy.
Why don't you leave the Democrats? Why don't you just go to the Trump faction of the Republican Party? Why not? I suspect you will.
Yeah. Well, I don't think so, and I'll tell you why. Because I think it's important for libertarians and Democrats and Republicans to all have different kinds of voices. Because what happens if you start, tossing Democrats out because they're not, quote-unquote, democratic enough? Right? The same thing can happen in all parties. So that's why I think it's important for people to be able to speak truth to power. And that's what I'm trying to do amongst my fellow Democrats. It may or may not make me popular, but I don't care. What I care about is that people see that there is a voice in the Democratic Party that's reasonable and responsible, and that will focus on American workers. That is where we need to put our energy.
Bryan Wright, thanks for coming on the show. You're an honest man and a brave man, too. We appreciate that. Thank you very much indeed, sir.